Hey everybody, I'm Nobody. I want to talk a little bit about political smoke and mirrors. And this is an act of verbal judo that's done at White House press conferences, and in this case by J.D. Vance, as he fields a question from one of the journalists who asked a very lengthy question, which sounded a lot like an explanation or lecture, but then got around to asking it. And I think he asked it that way because he was trying to be very specific and get a certain response from J.D. Vance. And so let's take a look at how J.D. responds to this question.
Come on, man. Have a little bit of objectivity in the way that you ask these questions, because there were a lot of things in that speech masquerading as a question that didn't actually get asked, okay?
So he referred to it as a speech and blames the journalist for not asking the question correctly. So here he's setting the stage and saying, if I don't answer this question correctly, it's not really my fault. It's because of how you asked the question.
The president doesn't sit at the Oval Office on his computer on his Robinhood account buying and selling stocks. That's absurd. He has independent wealth advisors who manage his money. He is a wealthy person. He has had success in business. He's not making these stock trades himself. And your question imputes that. It doesn't say it exactly, but a reasonable person listening to that question would assume the president is sitting around and doing that. He's not.
So again, putting the pressure back on the journalist and saying that the journalist is making an implication. Well, in my mind, the actual trading that's going on in the White House is already the implication. So for a journalist to be making the implication is quite silly. So he doesn't answer the question. He says that Donald Trump isn't sitting in his office doing trading, but rather he's got a financial advisor or broker who's doing the trading for Donald Trump. But he doesn't say that the trading's not occurring. He's just saying Donald Trump's not doing it on his phone. And then he says he has somebody that does trading for him. So he's still not denying it. And that's what the journalist was trying to get them to say, is that this isn't happening. But through political smoke and mirrors, this is the kind of response we get. So let's listen some more.
You're right. I'm a big fan of banning members of Congress from trading stocks. So is the President of the United States. All of us believe that nobody should be taking proprietary information gained from public service and buying and selling stocks. We want to ban that process, and I think the way to lead by example is banning that process, banning that approach, and making it illegal, which is exactly what the president has proposed.
So the answer is it's not Trump's fault that he's taking advantage of his insider information and working with his broker to make trades to make himself wealthy. It's not his fault. It's because it's Congress's fault because they haven't written a law that says that Congress can't trade. If you go back to where he first begins to speak about this, he says Congress. He doesn't say the executive branch. He doesn't say the White House or anybody that works for the president. He said Congress. So he's blaming Congress. And then he's saying if Congress, he's saying that he and Donald Trump both firmly believe that Congress shouldn't be trading stocks and that they should create a law. But he does not say that the president or JD don't believe that the White House shouldn't be able to do these kinds of trades. So that's my spiel for the day. Political smoke and mirrors where politicians don't answer the question, but they make a lot of excuses and deflections and point to others and blame others for why things the way they are. Well, the lead by example to me comes from the White House. And Donald Trump promised to drain the swamp. I believe he did drain the swamp, but he drained it and filled it full of a whole new species of creepy crawlies. And I don't think Donald Trump is against corruption. I think he wants to own it. So that's my spiel. I'm Nobody. Be strong. Love thy neighbor. Together I know we can do better. Nobody out.